That the fact that we even exist at all proves that something needs to be eternal.
It could just be the universe is eternal. Why not?
Well, yeah, so basically what I'm saying is,
if absolute nothing was ever the case, that means we wouldn't be here, right?
I think existence is necessary, seemingly. Do you understand?
It's a little bit of an oxymoron to say absolute nothingness exists.
If absolute nothing was ever the case.
It's a little bit of an oxymoron to say absolute nothingness exists.
If absolute nothing was ever the case. If absolute nothing was ever the case. If absolute nothing was ever the case.
Do you understand that's an oxymoron?
No, I'm saying if absolute nothing was ever the case.
Then nothing can exist, because nothing can come from nothing. I think you're lacking understanding my claim. So if the word exist has both a temporal and a spatial component. If something exists, that means you're referring to it occupying a certain dimension of space and time.
all this guy does is use definitions that aren't even the fucking definitions of the words that he's using. He literally just makes up definitions that nobody fucking agrees with and then throws it on the people. He's just throwing his own definitions of words on the people, literally. He just quibbles definitions of words. That's all he does.
The word nothingness, and the way that you're using it, is absolute void. What does that even look like?
I just want to say, first of all, this guy can't even track, he can't even follow words, even when you repeat them over and over again in his face, okay? And he also can't even, he goes based off of his own definitions that nobody else agrees with. He thinks that the definition of nothing is a void. No, the definition of nothing that I've always been arguing in every single live stream, I will literally put it on the screen right now, that absolute nothing is something that has no properties, potential, or capacity. This guy just comes up with his own definitions of words and then throws it on to people, acting like that's what they were using it as.
What does absolute void look like?
When the fuck did I say anything about an absolute void? I never said anything about that. All I said is absolutely nothing. What is nothing? Something that has no properties, no potential, and no capacity. This guy just makes definition. This guy just makes up words. He just makes up definitions of words that nobody else agrees with.
It's not even possible that nothingness existed. That doesn't make sense.
So basically what you're saying is something needed to be eternal.
Sure, what kind of conclusion are you trying to make?
So yeah, so we both agree absolute nothing could never, that's what I'm saying too. We both agree that something needs to be eternal in order for us to exist.
I think that's even possible.
Nothing can come from nothing. Can you agree?
Yes, whatever.
Who's to say it doesn't have what it forms?
Are you using the
That's
word
not
absolute?
that's not an argument, that's just a vibe.
It's okay.
A vibe?
Yeah, that's not, what's the premise conclusion?
So basically what I'm saying, this eternal thing forms everything as we know it, and it has also formed consciousness.
Yeah.
So who's to say that it doesn't have what it forms?
Okay, can you go out into the world and gather some plastic and smelt it down and make a Lego brick?
Yeah.
Okay, so you made a Lego?
Mm-hmm. I didn't make that plastic.
So who's to say you're not a
This guy's examples and analogies literally make zero sense, literally. This is what he just now said. He said, if I go and get plastic and then I melt it down and make a Lego, does that mean I am a Lego? That literally made no sense because no, first of all, I didn't make that plastic. Second of all, I'm not eternal. I didn't form reality as we know it now. Literally, plastic would not exist unless this eternal something existed. And even if there are multiple eternal somethings, it doesn't matter because the conclusion still remains the same. These eternal somethings were capable, or at least one of these eternal somethings, or what about multiple of them combined, being able to form consciousness? It doesn't matter. We know that these eternal somethings were capable of forming consciousness no matter which way you try to make it. It doesn't matter. We know that these eternal somethings were capable of forming consciousness, meaning that they are the source of it. I didn't make that plastic though.
This is so dumb, dude. Come on.
No, that literally made no sense what you just said, bro. I'm being honest.
Yes, it does.
Just because I make Legos doesn't mean I'm a Lego.
Just because you made something, this is such a tortured
I'm not
and
eternal,
strange, illogical argument. Just because something makes a thing doesn't mean it itself is that thing or has that thing. That's totally illogical.
Yeah, but you're not understanding that all these things...
Okay, do you understand that what you're saying does not follow, literally? It's like saying grass is green. Premise 1, grass is green. Premise 2, dogs exist. Conclusion, therefore God has consciousness.
I don't even feel like I need to tell you guys why this example doesn't make any fucking sense, but I'm going to. So this is what he's saying, grass is green. Okay, since grass is green, now dogs exist. Therefore God has consciousness. We know that if the grass wasn't green and the world wasn't capable of holding life, then of course dogs wouldn't be able to exist. That's not the point. The point is that all of these things that he is mentioning wouldn't be a thing without this necessary foundation, or these necessary foundations. Necessary foundations is a very incoherent claim, but I'm just going to say that because anybody's going to try to argue that there were multiple necessary eternal somethings, which is literally incoherent.
That's like literally your argument. Does
No.
not follow. It's illogical.
No, it's not. You're not understanding.
Yes, it is. Okay.
No, you're just
so we,
you're not
we
following. You're
observe
not
that there are-
tracking.
We observe. Okay, so premise one is
This is incredulity.
it's not incredulity. It is
Yes,
the
it
fact
is.
that your argument is literally
It
irrational.
is.
So the conclusion that you're trying to build toward is that God has consciousness, right?
Yes. No. I'm
What's the
saying
first
that this
premise?
eternal. I'm saying this eternal thing has consciousness.
Is that eternal? Okay, the eternal thing has consciousness. Would you call the eternal thing God?
I would call it the source.
Okay, does the source have consciousness?
Does it form it?
Okay, so your conclusion that you're trying to do, your conclusion is
Because without this eternal thing, consciousness wouldn't exist, right?
it depends. I think you're playing real fast and loose with big words that you don't understand.
Okay.
It's the omnipotence paradox.
If I'm watching you build a house and I see that the very first brick that you're laying down is cracked and actually made of like plastic,
Guys, right now, this guy has some type of like obsession with plastic and bricks. Like, I don't understand it, and I'm gonna show you. Like, he unconsciously keeps bringing up plastic and bricks. Like, I think that all this guy actually has on his mind is fucking Legos.
brick, why would I let you finish building the entire house? I'm gonna stop.
No, I really need to know what the fuck is this unconscious obsession with plastic and bricks, guys? Because he keeps saying, "Oh, if you get plastic and you melt it down and make a Lego, are you that Lego?" And then he keeps trying to say that, "Oh, well, if you're making a house and I see that very first brick is actually made of plastic." What the fuck is this guy's obsession with plastic and bricks? All this guy has on his mind, I promise you, this whole argument, all he has on his mind is fucking Legos. Like, I think unconsciously, his mind just wants to go play with Legos.
Brick. I'm not gonna
So
sit
what is
here
the,
and read
what
a
is the
whole.
first brick that you're stopping me off of? Because you're not even making any logical sense of what you're claiming right now.
Yeah, we know something needed to be eternal in order to exist.
And you
because
agreed with that.
If absolute nothing was ever the case, nothing would exist. I've already
And you
pointed
agreed with
out-
that too.
He literally cannot go 10 seconds without saying something stupid. He literally said that the first brick of what I'm claiming was made out of plastic, and that's why he stopped me from building the house. But literally in the first two claims that I made, he admitted to agreeing. I don't understand, guys. He literally just contradicts himself in everything he says. And his only claim for not agreeing with it is because he thinks that I said nothing can exist. I literally never said that. And even if I did say that nothing exists, it doesn't matter. What is nothing? Something that has no properties. No properties, no potential, and no capacity. Something that has no properties, no potential, and no capacity technically could fucking exist.
Problem with the idea
Nothing can come from nothing.
itself that nothing existing is sort of incoherent.
No, absolute nothing.
This eternal
Sir.
something is capable of forming everything as we know. Well, that's actually.
All right, guys, get ready, because this is where it really, really gets bad for him. Like, this is where it's like, where you really can see that this guy actually doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about at all.
Logical either. What if there was an eternal thing that the act of creating the universe required so much energy that it died afterward? So it was eternal, but in an act of self-sacrifice, it created the universe, which is such an
That
amazing
means it's not eternal.
and powerful. Well, no, it was eternal into the past, but then it sacrificed itself or became the universe in a different form.
Well, it can't be eternal if
something
it could
like
die. Sir, do you know what eternal means?
And then your best argument
I want you guys to sit here and actually look at his face. I'm gonna zoom in. Look how mad he got that he knew what the fuck he was saying was stupid, but he didn't stop himself. He didn't admit that he was wrong. He'd rather keep trying to push this goofball argument that is built off of nothing at all. It's just a goofball. He's just a goofball.
saying that it's conscious is everything we know, it was capable of forming everything we know. So who's to say it doesn't have what it forms? Such as consciousness. So it formed poop, right?
No, we form poop.
No, it formed poop.
No, we do.
Would we have poop if it didn't form?
No,
all the
we
things?
form poop. We form it.
It formed the platonic object of poop.
Food forms poop.
This is so.
Like, what
Okay,
the fuck?
did it form leaves? A leaf of a tree.
So look, here's what formed leaves.
Did it form a leaf?
Did it form the planet that forms those leaves?
Did it form an electron? Did it form electrons?
Did electrons come from this eternal source? Because without this eternal source, nothing would be, right? So, I'm confused. It formed everything. Because look,
How old are you? Are you like 16 years old?
I'm 20.
You're 20? Oh god, that's so sad.
No, it's sad that you're not understanding simple logic.
It's not that I'm sorry, give me.
This is just pantheism. Even Albert Einstein agrees with this, bro. What the fuck?
Oh, for fuck's sake, that's absolutely not true at all.
It is true. Go search
Albert
it up right
Einstein
now.
does not disagree.
Oh.
Does not disagree.
Do you see that the only time that he could actually say something that's true is not by his own willing force? He literally didn't even mean to say that Albert Einstein does not disagree with pantheism when he was trying to say that Albert Einstein doesn't agree with it. The only time that he can actually say anything that fucking matters is when it's unconsciously done.
Search it up right now then. You don't even know what you're...
Buddy.
Did it form the sulfur that's in your...
Now, I'm going to tell you guys my argument without this goofball having to interrupt me without letting me establish anything or tell any premises, okay? So, in this one video, I am going to explain everything that I'm trying to say. And I also want you guys to understand, before I say any of these things, a majority of the ether scientists and philosophers throughout all of history agree with what I'm arguing right now, including Albert Einstein, okay? This is what I'm saying, so here we go. Premise 1, something exists. Here's the fact, you and everything around you exist, okay? Observation, existence is undeniable. Even doubting requires something to exist. So like, let's just say somebody tries to argue against that. They're gonna say, how do we know something exists? I'll say, by direct experience, okay? Is the most certain knowledge, absolute nothing. Premise 2, absolute nothing is impossible. What is absolute nothing? Absolute nothing has no properties, potential, or capacity. Something cannot come from absolute nothing. Let's say there's a counterargument. It's the most basic counterargument, quantum physics. I will tell you how this is not an argument. Quantum physics shows something from nothing, right? This is my response to that. Quantum nothing is not truly nothing. It has properties and laws. Philosophically, absolute nothing, no potential, no laws, cannot produce existence, okay? So now that we know that there was not, that absolute nothing can't be argued with quantum physics, premise 3, there must be a necessary foundation, being, or eternal. You can put necessary, being, foundation, or eternal, or all three, doesn't matter. So, premise 3, there must be a necessary foundation, contingent things exist, okay? What is the contingent things that exist? Everything we observe. Contingent things cannot exist without a foundation that is independent of them. What would an argument be? An argument would be, could there be multiple necessary foundations? My response would be, multiple necessary foundations would require a coherent relation. Any relational dependence would make one contingent, leaving ultimately a single necessary foundation, okay? What would a counterargument be? Why not an infinite regress of contingent things? My response is infinite regress fails because every link in this chain is contingent. Without a necessary foundation, nothing would exist. Premise 4, the necessary being is eternal. Necessary means it cannot fail to exist. If it could begin or cease, it would be contingent. What would a counterargument be? Eternal in what sense? Time may be relative. My response would be eternal here is logical, not temporal. It exists outside the chain of contingency and cannot cease to exist. Okay? Premise 5. Contingent reality depends on it. All observed phenomena, matter, life, change, consciousness are contingent with